to speaking to him. Right, okay. We're now going to look forward to round number 12. But before we do, as we always do, this part of the show will turn into the prediction show. And of course, we've got a sponsor for that. So let's give them their little announcement, and then we'll get into some predictions. Here we go.
He's target 5.
Here comes the wall.
Love that crunch.
Let me add a little bit of spice.
Fantastic. Thanks as always to the support of Rugby League 3/4. If you like a bet, if you like a bit of harmless fun, of course, do bet responsibly. Get yourself over to their Facebook page, Rugby League 3/4. Get involved with the chat. Who knows? It might improve your form in the Super League Raw WhatsApp group. Who knows? That'd be an idea. But anyway, let's get into where we left round number 11, starting with the prediction league. And if you remember, Gary, Stoker, and Joel were joint top at 169. Wooden Spoon at the moment is going the way of the fans for him, and Greg at this moment has the bragging rights over Mr. Sale by 7.
Not for long. Not for long.
Right. Okay. This is how we left the league table. I'll get rid of I'll just get rid of that while we do so. Yes, the Warriors, of course, still with that game in hand against the Lee Leopards, but they sit top and pretty. Saints, then the Wolves, Dragons, Robins, and the Red Devils currently sitting in those prized top 6 places. The Broncos getting off and running in round 11. They've got the 2 points now. Of course, they're off and running. Fantastic to see at the bottom of the table. Right. Let's get in. Some mouth-watering fixtures, boys. These are the fixtures. There's some belters in here. Huddersfield Giants, after that, let's be fair, rampant Warrington win in the semi-final, they welcome the Leopards. We all know what current record the Huddersfield Giants have got at home. Sorry, Joel, I shouldn't giggle, but you know it is. Let's be fair, quite barren at the JW. Says JW. Let's rename the stadium the John Smith. I'm getting giddy. But yeah, the Giants. Well, they take on a resurgent Lee Leopards. Then the Tigers go up against Hull FC. That'll be an interesting game. The Saints go up against the Rhinos. Dragons, Wolves, the final of the trilogy, of course, unless they meet again in the playoffs. The last time they'll meet. Can the Dragons go 3-0 against the Wire? The Red Devils, very close, if you remember their last time out when they took on the Warriors at the Salford Community Stadium. The Warriors return, and Broncos take on the Robins, another team who, quite frankly, did not have a very good Challenge Cup weekend. Let's go through these in order, starting with the Giants and the Leopards. And here we go, head to head. The last 5 meetings between these two. Joel, happy days. You're leading 3-2. That's right, 3-2 in the last 5 games between you and the Lee Leopards. But look at the form guide. As you can see, 3 losses in Super League there for the Huddersfield Giants. Going into that game against Warrington, that would be a 4th loss if you were to count it. As for Lee, well, since the players have been coming back, their form has been gradually getting better. It's 8th against 9th. It couldn't be closer. The attacks, pretty close, but the defence going the way of the Leopards. But surprisingly, the bookies have the Huddersfield Giants favourite 5-6. Couldn't believe that when I saw it. Right, the ins and the outs. Andre Savelio could feature Chris Hill, as he said before the game on Saturday. 50-50. Will he get his game back? Will he be back for this one? Question. Still out, Harvey Levette, Adam Swift, still to be confirmed how long for. And Matty English, of course, HIA, he will miss. That's a big loss in the front row. Maybe that will mean Chris Hill will return for this particular game. Gareth O'Brien expected to be back unless Steph knows different. Dan Norman as well. He should be back as well in contention. Still no Nathan Wild. Keenan Brand still out. Well, yeah, I mean, the big ones, Asiata really, in terms of the rest that are going to be out for the Lee Leopards. So I'll come to the boys last. I'll start with you, Greg. Huddersfield.
Am I not a boy?
No, the boys in terms of their teams. My apologies. I'll come to those 2 last because they're going head to head. But sir, you're a man of distinction. Anyway, let's move on. Huddersfield against Lee Leopards. I mean, Huddersfield can't be as lacklustre as they were against the Wire. Can they?
I think I'm going to put, I know we've been accused of this in the past by certain people. I'm going to put my primrose and blue glasses on here and say, I don't think Huddersfield were that bad. I just think Warrington were that good. And Huddersfield were coming back into it in the second part of that first half. If they could have put some points on there, it could have been interesting second half. Having said that, I think they'll be flat. I think they will be flat. I think Lee have had the benefit of a week's rest. Doesn't always work out in a team's favour to have a week off. But I just get the feeling, I'm sorry, Joel, or should I be apologising to Steph? But I think Lee 9-17 on this one.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think for me, I know what you mean about momentum and weeks off. I just think this probably come at a good time for Lee, just to get a bit of freshness back into those come back.
Swift is a huge.
It's massive, mate. It's massive, mate. It's
huge miss.
Yeah, I mean, what a player! And you know, even on one leg, he still kept his try scoring streak going.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, and you know, if he'd have caught that ball early in the first half, it's all ifs and buts, isn't it? But if he'd have caught that ball and scored, it brings it back to 12-6. It's a different ball game.
It is a different. Yeah, there was a period there before the Walker try. I completely agree. You know, they had a little bit of a renaissance. Craig, just for your information, Steve is a member of Super League Raw. You know, if you're going to badger anyone, you badger Matt Sale. That's the one that's the one you're going for, Craig. Give Matty a load of grief. Speaking of Matt, there he is. O'Brien's still a week away. Let's just go through a couple before I'll bring Jeff in first because he's away in a moment. But yeah, I mean, you know, here they go. John Wilson saying Lee 18 plus in there. Lee by 40, Paul Bourne. That's a big shout. As always in this part of the show, I've seen her somewhere where he's clapping. He's Mr. Sale.
He's waving. He's waving.
Oh, is he waving? Well, hopefully that means he's joining, which would be very nice. He'd be very well welcome. Let's have a quick look. Robert Hickson, Lee by 12. I did see it. Where was she? She's in it somewhere. My apologies. Whilst I'm looking for her, because I've definitely seen her.
I think Stephen Cartledge makes a fantastic point, Dave.
Which is, only Wigan could have lived with Warrington.
No, that he agrees with me.
All right. It's Nicola Burton. Well, that's who I'm looking for. Nicola always comes in at this part of the show. Nicola, another proud member of Super League Raw. She's got 18 plus for Lee Leopards. Well done, Nick. Good to have your company, as always, on a Tuesday evening. Right, Steph, you're away. Getting a bit of form, win. For you. Let's be fair, your last outing was... well, quite frankly, it was a bit of poetry, really. First bit of poetry this year, I think. It was that good. Catalan run it close, but I thought you were magnificent against Salford. Confident, Steph? Because, of course, you're going to be in Joel's company for this one.
Well, first things first, our Matthew's getting some shout-outs, considering he's not a member.
Well, I wanted to put him on the screen just so that you could see what he could have won. I mean, everybody will deal with Matt. Matt is being dealt with. It's not a problem. The boys and the girls of our membership, you know, they'll keep probing him. You carry on, Steph.
Good. Yeah, I mean, I think we did need a week off. You know, it's one of those where because of the injuries we needed a week off, but because of the form, we probably didn't want a week off. I agree. Against Salford, we were close to our perfect game as we could have been in that game. I think Swift missing, if he is missing for Huddersfield, is massive, and I think English as well with the HI is big as well for them. Chris Hill has been out for quite a while now, hasn't he? So obviously you wouldn't expect he would be 100% coming back in if he's coming in, and obviously Huddersfield's home form has been horrific, really, if we're being honest.
It has.
So they're probably going to give us a good hiding now, aren't they? No, I just said that. No, I am quietly confident. If we play to our potential,
this could be classed as bullying now, Dave.
I know.
He's a good lad, Matt. He knows it makes sense. Go on, Steph.
Do you know what I might do? I might get it in for his birthday without him knowing.
Yeah.
I'm surprised now, Steph.
Yeah, it's coming up 20 July, I think it is.
Perfect gift.
21st of June. 21st of June. So I'll buy it him for his birthday. There you go. So yeah, I am quietly confident. The biggest thing for me is I'm going to be in Joel's company very kindly in this one. I'm going to have a good day with my mate there. But I've gone Lee 9-17. I don't think it'll be as comfortable as some people are saying, and I think there will be some. You know, Watson's going to want a performance to cover what happened at the weekend. So I do expect a reaction from Huddersfield. I'm just hoping we've got a bit in us. So.
I'm not even bringing that up on screen. That's it. It's done. It's over. It's all over. Lorraine saying as well. Alex Sharpley 1-8. Tony Pennington. Hello, Tony. How are you, mate? Hope you're well. Lee 9-17. He's going. A lot of love. I don't think I've seen anybody go Huddersfield. And when you consider we've got the likes of Ryan Birch has gone League 9-17, a lot of Cowbell Armour in the chat, none of them going the way of Lee. And this is where Joel surprises you, because he's going to go for the Giants, aren't you, Joel?
I'm going to make this very clear.
Maybe
There's not a fibre in my body. There's not a fibre in my body, and as you know, there's many of them, that tells me that Huddersfield are going to win this game. I don't even know why we're discussing it. There's going to be a slight bit of resilience.
I mean, if ever there's a picture of a demotivated
Lee 9-17.
What, 9-17 to Lee? I mean,
I'm going to change my prediction. Huddersfield 18.
I'm only going for Steph. I'm only.
That's the biggest bit of reverse psychology we've ever seen on this show. That is complete reverse psychology. That.
Oh, Joel, you are honestly. This is why we love you coming in.
I'm only going to spend time with my mate Steph.
Good man.
I appreciate it.
Oh, well played, mate. Right, let's move on then. Oh, actually, before we do, Gary Schofield, I'm surprised you this. Gary Schofield's gone Lee 9-17. And, well, everybody's gone Lee 9-17, apart from me and the fans forum. We're going Lee 18 plus. I'm going 18 plus. I think Lee, based on what I've seen him do to Catalan and to Salford, I just think this is going to be another good day at the office for Mr. Lamb's Charges. Right, let's go to the next one. This is an interesting game. The Tigers taking on Hull FC. This is the form guide. The Tigers 3-2 up, but look at the form. I mean, like I say, we really disappointing last time out by the Castleford Tigers with that hammering by St. Helens. As you can see there, they were in pretty decent form. You know, win to Salford, then they lost to the Warriors, won against the Broncos, a great draw, a brilliant comeback against Lee at the LSV to get a draw. And then, of course, that debacle against Saints. As for Hull, they can't buy a win. Just one win all season against London, and that was a scrape as well. It's 10th against 11th. The attack, I mean, it's quite frightening, isn't it? 184 to 100, 122 points in 11 Super League games. That is not good viewing if you're a Hull FC fan. Both defences leaky. You expect that based on where they are in the league. Tigers 4-6, 13-10. I expected those odds to be a bit better.
Yeah.
For FC, if I'm being honest. But yeah, Castleford, they're the team that people think will do well. I'll go in a different order. I'll start with Steph this time. Castleford Tigers against Hull FC. Your thoughts on this one, Steph?
All I can say on this one is I'm going for my mate Callum. No, I think Castleford are going to win 9-17.
That was pretty blunt and pretty quick. Before we go, let's see if there's a bit of good news coming in this. Okay, so first and foremost, like we've already said, bit of good news. Sam Hall, Tex Hoy, Alex Meller, Nixon put a chance, as is Jason Gary. So actually, some players coming back here for Cass. Jacob Miller's early reports are he might not play in this one. Don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I'd have to ask our Tigers fans for that one. As for Hull FC, Brad Fash is 50-50. That'd be a good return. They probably miss Fash. I like. We like a bit of the mullet, to be fair, don't we? And Danny Houghton could be back after having got through his HIA protocol. So a couple of players coming back into this one. Joel, will come to you next on this one. Thoughts? Castleford Tigers, Hull FC.
I'm terrible. I can't remember exactly what I think. Did I go 18 plus or 9-17? But it was definitely Cass. I know Cass are going to win it.
It's definitely Cass.
I don't think Hull can. Oh yeah, Hull can't buy a win. I'm sorry, they can't.
Do you know what, Joel? That's punditry of the highest order, mate. I'm so happy
no.
that you're here. That's two predictions, and both done with complete and utter passion. I love it. Greg, over to you. Thoughts on Castleford FC?
Well, I was being bribed in the WhatsApp group with a crate of Brewdog. Yeah, it's gone up by several Brewdogs. That I'd go for Hull Golden Point. So, you know, I'm a sucker for Brewdog, so Cass 9-17.
9-17. Right, okay. Let's get into the chat. What are they all saying? I can only imagine. A lot of love here for Cass. Oh, Graham Parrish. He's got FC by 12. Andy Roberts, Cass by 22. Peter Mason in Belarus, Tigers by 14. Tracy Corbett, Cass by 20. Ryan Birch, Cass by 9-17. Matty Sale, Tigers 18 plus. Nicola Burtonwood, Tigers 9-17. Connor Pickervance Hull 1-8. So a bit of love here for FC. Everybody on screen has gone Castleford 9-17, including Gary Schofield, including the fans forum. I'm going Hull FC 1-8. I'm going for an upset. I am. I don't know why. I just am. New coach announced. Castleford. Do you know what? If anybody's going to drop the ball against Hull FC, it's Castleford for me. Don't know why I think that. I just do. So just for notoriety and to be a bit different, I'm going to go for the Hull FC.
Do we think Mr. Hoy is going to play a big part in this game? Because I do.
Well,
what? We'll make him captain.
There's no doubt. I mean, it's a big game, this for Texoy. It's a big game. You just hope that the emotion of it doesn't affect him, because there's no doubt he left under a bit of a cloud there at FC. Not necessarily of his own doing, but he definitely wasn't shown the love.
He wasn't a happy bunny, was he, at Hull?
He wasn't.
It only comes back to bite teams, that though, doesn't it? You know, when they leave mid-season under those kind of circumstances, it's just written, isn't it? Some games you just think the narrative's already written, and I think it may be in this one.
Yeah, well, as Greg says, he was 5 out of Watership down at Hull FC. There's no doubt about that. But anyway, good evening. Let's move on a little bit of culture there. Where's our Garfunkel when you need him? Right, let's move over to the next game.
You were met by the sound of silence there, Dave.
Absolutely, yes. But I've always got bright eyes on. Anyway, let's move on. Head to head. St. Helens taking on the Leeds Rhinos. Always an interesting game. But look at that. The last 5 times these have met, this is not including the Challenge Cup. It'd be 5-1 had we included this year's Challenge Cup game. But 4-1 is the way it looks. Saints, 3 wins in the last 5, 2 wins in the last 5 for the Leeds Rhinos. We know that Leeds, the last round at Catalan, had a very big depleted side. We know that. We've got to pay lip service to that. We have to. They did go there very seriously depleted. As you can see, second takes on 7th. There's no comparison in terms of attack and defence. As you'd expect, Saints are favourite. The Rhinos 13-2 again, and I've expected those odds to be slightly different. We may see Ignatius Parsi coming back for this one, and it's quite timely as well. Saints have been hit with some big injuries of late. Jake Wingfield, he's out until September. He's had shoulder surgery, as Matt Whitley. He's out until August. Also, Morgan Knowles is out until round 17, and we know that Alex Wormsley, he's not going to be back earlier September, possibly the season. So some really big artillery there missing for the Saints. So I think Parsi, if he is fit and does return, that could be quite welcome indeed. And in the same way as Julia Nsemba is stepping up for Wigan Warriors, well, I got a lot of pelters last year by the Saints fans over comparing Nsemba and Delaney. I said that Nsemba was a better player. If I'm wrong, stand up, Mr. Delaney. Show me that I'm wrong, because at this moment in time, your team needs you. So, if Mr. Nsemba can do it, so can you, is what I would say. Right, Greg, I will start with you this time. We're going down in a different order. Interesting game.
It is. It is.
I mean, in terms of Leeds, Holroyd, Newman and Croft should be back.
Yeah.
So that's a bonus.
Saints have got a lot of injuries as well.
They want, yeah, exactly.
Saints have been scratchy by their standards. And you look at Leeds, and Leeds are only 2 points off the playoffs, despite what people think has been a poor start to the season. They're only 2 points off the top 6, 4 points off the top. I think this will be a closer game than people think. I think Saints are going to win 9-17, but I don't think, people are saying it's going to be a Saints walkover. I don't think it is. And I think Saints will probably pull away towards the end of the game. So I'm going Saints 9-17.
Well, Dawn Baker says the same. She thinks it's going to be closer than people think. She's gone Saints 1-8. Tony Pennington, Saints 9-17. Ryan, Saints 9-17. Back to you, Steph. St. Helens against Leeds.
Is Croft back?
Croft is supposedly back, yes.
So that means, are they going to drop Frawley, do we think?
I would expect so.
There's much of a boost that would be for Leeds. I don't think the bookies are often wrong. That's that massive odds that for Leeds to get a win, isn't it? Huge odds.
It's worth a fiver of anybody's money.
Yeah.
Well, I'll probably back it because it'll lose. So, sorry, Alex. I'm having Saints 18 plus. I think they're going to put a show on.
Yeah. Well, I mean, do you know what? I'm not being funny. Isn't it wonderful that all the games this year have shown live? Because this would have been one of the two that Sky would have picked. It always is. And I think there's better games this weekend, quite frankly.
Yeah.
I think
easily better games.
I think on paper, this one always is one of those games on the calendar that you think, happy days. But I think because of circumstance, I just think there's better games out there this week. And fortunately, we're going to be able to see all of those games as well as this one, because we know that Sky do like a bit of Saints against Leeds.
I think Cass and Hull will be a great game for different reasons.
I do, mate.
Completely different. And it wouldn't have got shown.
No, wouldn't have. I think with the exception possibly of the London game, I just think KR will be, and we'll get to that in a bit, they'll be smarting. But with the exception of that, I think it could be really interesting. Really, really interesting. Ryan Birch Saints 9-17, Rob Exon 9-17. Andy Roberts gone Leeds by 2. Joel, if you start talking now, by the time I'm finished, you should have started. Go on, Joel, over you.
The suspense that kills you.
No, I think this is actually going to be a bit. No, this game I think
this
is
is just like
Eurovision.
Carry on, Joel. Ignore him.
This game's going to be a good one for different reasons. You've got some players that are out that you would know that would normally control the game really well. Like you said, Saints have got some returnees, especially like Croft, and if Frawley's not playing, I think they're going to turn up a bit better. I don't see it a blowout. I do see a Saints win. I think they've gone 9-17, but I think it's going to be a good game. This, I'm actually looking forward to watching this one. There is better games, like you said, because there's more on the line for it. But for this one, it's more of a what can Leeds do with a slightly weak.
Right. Well, you've been given a red card by Dawn. She's not loving your internet tonight. She's proper filthy with you, Joel. She's filthy with you. Disgraceful is what Dawn's saying. Take it on the chin, sir. Take it on the chin. But yeah, Gary Schofield, he's gone Saints 18 plus, as has Steph, of course, and has the fans forum. The rest of us have gone Saints 9-17. So all of us going Saints, but slightly different margins. Right. We move on to what will hopefully will be a great game. The last two of these games have been brilliant this season. Both of them have been very, very entertaining indeed. The Dragons, the last 5, 3-2 up against the Wire. In terms of form, well, Warrington have won 4 of the last 5, of course, 5 of the last 6 if we count the Challenge Cup. And there you can see the Dragons, 3 from the last 5. Position, 3rd against 4th. Wonderful. I think every time these two have come head-to-head this season, I think they've been a place between them. It's going to be really interesting. Warrington, slightly better attack and defence. That's encouraging. But the bookies have said that they fancy Catalan to do the hat-trick. 4-7 on the Dragons at home. Warrington 6-4. I'm led to believe Warrington have gone out early. Whether that be a bit of a reward for the semi-final win, that could be a good thing. Could be a bad thing. I don't really know, if truth be told. We'll go back round. We'll start with Joel. Joel, Warrington Wolves against Catalan Dragons. Should be a belter. Where are you going?
Yes, I'm going to go for Wire on this one. Pretty close, though. I think I'm seeing it around 1-8. Because going to Catalan for anybody who was on any form is a tough one. Can I just say Huddersfield did go and beat them quite convincingly. That's the other thing I'm holding on to this year. But other than that,
in some respect, you must wake up and think that was all a dream.
I think it was a different year, different decade.
It did happen, Joe. Honestly, it was real.
Apparently so. It's going to be a really good game. I'm going Wire 1-8 because I think it was such a great win. Your boys are going to be running high on confidence.
Yeah, well, maybe. We'll Ryan Birch is obviously very disappointed in how much grief we're giving you tonight. He's gone Catalan 9-17. Tony Pennington, he's gone Wire 1-8. Dawn, Dragons at home, week off, Wire 1-4. Nicola Burnwood, she's gone Wire 1-8. Well done, Nick. Right, let's before we bring Steph in, Garcia should be back. That's a massive bonus for Catalan. No real new injury concerns other than that for them. I think the big bonus for Warrington is Desiree. Again, he's expecting not to feature. I think Desiree off the bench in a Wigan kind of way with Mago and Dupree. I think when they've got Satai and Desiree off the bench, I think that's colossal. And we saw that against, it was KR. You know, it's just, so as a Warrington fan, I'm a bit relieved about that. Warrington, no concerns, or none have been reported as yet. He might freshen it up, though. I wouldn't be surprised maybe to see Conor Wrench come back into this one just to freshen a few key places up where he can. But Steph, your thoughts? Wire against Catalan in Perpignan?
Yeah, well, I think the first point is how crazy is it that Warrington have played Catalan 3 times now and we've not played London once yet? It's bonkers, isn't it?
It's bonkers.
Yeah.
We haven't played Wigan. We haven't played Saints.
Yeah,
you know, it's mad.
Absolutely crazy. But anyway, that's by the by. That's the picture. Well, I believe there's a really good contingent of Warrington fans going out. You know, over 1,000, I think, Warrington fans going out for this one as well, which is brilliant. Especially after the amount that turned up at St Helens at the at the weekend as well. So yeah, I think it's going to be a cracker, this one. I think that they're so evenly matched, these sides. They seem to really, complement each other in attack and defence. And I just think it's going to be probably the game of the week for me, this one. I think it's going to be an absolute blinder. I think going out there early is a stroke of genius by Burgess. Well deserved for the players just to think, and obviously to get acclimatised as well to the weather and all that kind of thing. I think the longer you spend out there, the better. I know that doesn't work for everybody, but I don't think there's anybody that's gone out on a Tuesday before. And I've heard of teams going out on a Thursday. So as long as they're going out there, not partying, which I'm sure Burgess wouldn't have them doing that. I think if they've done it for the right reasons, then I think they're good enough to get the win. I've gone Warrington 1-8. I do think it'll be close, but I do think you're going to get the win.
Yes. So what score are you going?
1-8.
You're going 1-8, the Wire. Right, okie dokie. Greg, can Catalan get the hat trick?
Well, I got a good telling off on Saturday while I was queuing for beer. Yes, thank you, the Glass Horse, for putting 2 bar staff on. While I queued for an hour for beer, I got a good telling off that I should always back my own team. And obviously my celebrity status was used to get somebody to the front of the queue. But let's not name names. So going with that, you know who you are. Going with that, I'm going Catalan 9-17.
Yeah, Catalan 9-17.
Because for the reason I think Sunday, despite a dominant performance, will have taken a lot out of the tank.
Yeah.
Emotion-wise, going to Catalan is not an easy place to go, no matter how well you're playing. And I think Catalan, I think will edge it towards the end again. Close first 60 minutes. Catalan to run away with it at the end, 9-17.
Right, Gary Schofield, he's gone the Dragons 9-17. I've gone Catalan 1-8. I do think that the hat trick probably is on. I hope I'm wrong, but I just get the feeling that with the, I mean, don't get me wrong, it wasn't. They didn't really have to get out of third gear really on the weekend. So it's not like they've been in a bruising battle. But it's the emotion of a semi-final.
Yeah, it's the emotion
to Wembley. So I don't think from a body perspective, that it's more mentally. Can they now, off the euphoria of getting to Wembley, can they get themselves back up?
It could be, we've got Catalan, we've got Wigan. Funny that, and how the Challenge Cup final, the teams always seem to play each other the week before.
Yeah.
I'm saying nothing. But they've got 2 tough games, Warrington, before the final. I think that's a good thing. I really do. We don't want easy games going into a cup final.
Yeah, I mean, look, we all know, and this is why we always say about playoff rugby league at the end of the day, it's when these teams go head to head, it's a different intensity. So you're spot on. I think the fact that Warrington, have got Catalan this week and then on to Wigan. Yeah, I mean, they're intense. They're going to be intense games.
Yeah.
Without that, Andy Bibby's gone wide by 12. Catalan by 12 for Graham Parrish. He's in there as well. Catalan 1-8. Lorraine, hello Lorraine. Good evening to you. I hope you're enjoying Super League Raw. I'm sure you will be. But yeah, look, it's one of those. It really is a down the middle job. This the fans form have gone Catalan 1-8. I've gone Catalan 1-8. Greg and Schofield Catalan 9-17, and Steph and Joel going wire 1-8. It should be a belting game.
Can I back you up on something, Dave?
Go for it, Chief.
It definitely is about the mind and not the body, because there was nothing that we put on to test your body at all. The most that you had to test was to wipe your brow from 8.
Well, by all accounts, mate, Joe Wicks is going to be there against Lee. He's going to do a warm up before the game, just so that Lee get a sweat on. It's going to be free to air on YouTube. Anyway, that's by the by. Let's
bullying now, Dave. Bullying.
I know, it's shocking. But hey, we get told, at the end of the day, it's all good friendly banter. That's all it is.
It's all harmless, ridiculous.
So yeah, Joel knows we've got a soft spot for his Carbalami. We have. Right, here we go. On to the next one. The Salford Red Devils taking on the Wigan Warriors. Of course, these have met already this season, as you know. Brilliant game that, other than Mark Sneed's moment of madness, I think Salford could have gone and won it, quite frankly. Those were different times. 5-0. I mean, that's quite damning, isn't it? The last 5 times Wigan have played Salford, 5-0. Not bad form, Salford, coming into this one. 3 wins. Of course, lost last time out to... lost that time last time out to the Leeds Leopards. Anyway, Salford 6th, Wigan 1st. The attack, no surprises. Wigan 312. Defensively, Wigan stronger. 2-9 on Wigan. 18-5. The Salford Red Devils, gentlemen. Right, Joel, back to you. Can Salford do it again? Can they run the Wigan? I mean, nobody expected it the last time. Just quickly before you come in, for Salford, no Sidlow, no Joe Mellor, no Joe Shorrocks, and no Jack Ormonroyd. A lot of pack members not there. If there was one position that Salford needed a bit of strength, it was in their forward positions. No Sidlow. They've not had him all year, to be fair. No Shorrocks. And no Ormonroyd. That is massive for them. Wigan come into this with a good, clean bill of health. If Matty Pete was going to use a game potentially to rest a few of his star players, maybe this is that. Would he do it against Warrington the week after? We were talking in the final whistle about what are Burgess and Pete going to do with regards to that. What's your thoughts, Joel? Salford, Wigan.
Yeah, I don't think he would, to be honest, because I think if he can, no win's an easy win. Well, for most teams.
Sorry, Joel. Pete Mason, of course, there is the bans. Ellis and Walters picked up bans, didn't they? So they're out for Wigan. No injury concerns, but 2 bans.
So the attack of Wigan is already strong enough as it is, and to have some of your big hitters out, and Wigan being pretty much good on strength, I don't see anything but a Wigan win. But I don't think it's not going to be a massive scoreline by any means, because we all know Salford defies every law of everything in this game. So I don't think we're going to see a Wigan win, but I think it's only going to be 9-17. Salford will put up a fight.
Fair enough. Dawn, Pete doesn't rest players, I believe. Pete doesn't either, is what I would say to that. I don't know. Don't know who Pete is, but yeah, certainly Matt Pete probably doesn't rest players. Got Kobe McGilvey saying it was lovely to meet you fellas at the weekend. Big shout out there from Kobe. Good to have you with us, Kobe, as always. Steph, back to you for this one. Wigan Warriors going to the Salford Red Devils.
Yeah, I thought Wigan were outstanding at the weekend, and just go to show why they're the World Club champions. I think Salford are going to be up against it. They're going to be looking for a bounce back from what happened at Leeds the other week. But I just can't see past a convincing Wigan win here. I've gone Wigan 18 plus.
Yeah.
Sorry, Wigan fans.
Yeah, no, 18 plus.
Yeah, Wigan 18.
Me and Benji back to
17, we've all gone Wigan 18 plus, as has the fans forum. This will surprise you though. Gary Schofield, Wigan 1-8.
Is he basing that on the earlier season?
Don't know.
With the drop out by Sneed, weren't it? When they
yeah.
Is it at Wigan?
No, this is at Salford.
Salford again.
Yeah.
It may be a bit. I just can't see past Wigan putting a score on him.
No. I don't think Matty Pete will rest anyone.
No.
I think he'll be resting. I think an agreement may well be come to next week between the teams.
Let's hope so.
That some players, Paul Vaughan, please, because the match review panel, they've already got a 10-match ban lined up for him for wearing a Warrington shirt. So, I think this is not the week that Matty Pete or Sam Burgess rest players.
No. And Nsemba's going to be playing for his NRL contract as well, isn't he?
This is it. He doesn't want to miss a game, Nsemba, in case.
No. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Dawn Baker, she says Wigan 9-17, Wigan 16 plus. John Wilson, Nicola Burton will back in the chat. Is our Nick 9-17? The Warriors, she's going in there. But yeah, I think no doubt about it. Everybody pretty much going in there. But Andy Bibby and Connor Pickavants, they have gone 1-8 Salford. So there you go. Bit of love for Salford. Who else has gone Salford there? Somebody else has gone Salford as well. Salford 1-8. Craig Rigby. Oh, behave, Craig. Do me a favour.
What's Craig said?
Craig's obviously not had enough shout-outs tonight. He's going silly now in the chat. They are, Craig. I'll even put you on screen, love. There you go. You get your fill, my friend. You get your fill.
That's attention-seeking at his best.
Unbelievable. Absolutely scandalous. Anyway.
Craig, if that happens, give us the lottery numbers for next Saturday.
Yeah. Oh, dear me. Right, we go. Oh, dear me. Peter Mason's got in quick. He's already gone. He's gone KR by 32. He's even being precise. Let's get to the final game of round 12. And it's this one. It's London against Hull KR. Of course, these have played each other this season at Craven Park. 50 points to 10. The Robins won. Brilliant win last time out. The Broncos off and running a far sterner test, taking on the Robins, it has to be said. It's 5th against 12th. I mean, again, look at the forward against there. Every conceivable stat goes the way of KR. 10-1. The Broncos 25-1 to 25 on the Robins. It's hard not to see that, gents, to be fair. Dean Purata, good news for London. He should be back, as will Lavelle. Two good, important players for London. And Josh Rourke may be back, is what they're saying. Maybe back.
Wow.
That'd be huge.
That would be massive if
he was back. Still no Emmanuel Wayne. We're not going to see him until July. Oliver Gildart, he's still out. Dean Hadley, Kalepi Tanginoa, and Joe Burgess expected to be out. So you think Hadley, Tanginoa have been quality in the second row. Hadley played at loose against Warrington. I thought he played reasonable as well, if I'm being honest, at loose forward that night. No Gildart again, but that's fine. Opposite can slide in there, no issues. But Burgess, who's been in great form, that's a miss. That's a miss for them on that right-hand side. But that said, Greg, you still wouldn't bet against KR to bounce back in style.
Well, the same as Huddersfield. I think KR will be flat. They're missing a few players. And London will be absolutely buoyed by that victory. I mean, it wasn't just a close game. They battered Hull, really. They'll be buoyed by it. If they get those players back, they will be a lot more of an opposition than they have been. Having said that, I'm going Hull KR 9-17.
Yeah. Well, Don Baker saying that.
I don't think it'll be a blowout by Hull KR. I think they will be very, very flat after that performance in the semi-final. You know, we say Warrington outplayed Huddersfield. Wigan absolutely outplayed Hull KR. There'll be flats, and I think London will put a good performance again, but I think it's KR's game 9-17.
All I'm going to say, Andy, I don't know what you're drinking, but send me a pint of it. I mean, never in a million years. KR are after top 6, mate, and there's no way they would forego a game. They don't need to laugh at FC more than they are, mate. They're more than comfortable with FC's predicament.
FC can finish bottom all by their own. They don't need anybody else's help.
Well, that's contentious, but yeah, maybe. Nicola Burtwood back in again. Hull KR 18 plus has said our Nick. She's going KR. London by 2, says Dawn Baker. That's an interesting one. Craig Rugby 9-17 KR. Steph, your thoughts?
I think Dawn's doing a Craig there, a bit more attention seeking. As good as London were against FC, KR are a different proposition, aren't they? Completely different proposition. And especially after the semi-final, Willie Peters is not going to accept anything more than a ruthless display here. But I do think London will be buoyed by the win, and I think they're going to put in especially in the first half. I think it might be a lot closer than people might think in the first half, but I do expect KR to run away with it in the second half. So I have gone KR 18 plus, but I don't think it's going to be a 40-50 point game. I think it's going to be 26-6 maybe, something like that. But I fully expect London to put on a bit of display in that first half, especially.
Fair enough. In true Facebook fashion, Kobe McGilvery has gone fishing. He's telling us it was his birthday last Friday. Come on, show him the love. Get happy birthday in the chat, guys. Get happy birthday in the chat. Kobe there, going fishing for birthday candles. Good lad. Right, Craig.